In this video, I'm going to explore the various facets to understanding the nature of our rainbow realm, how it interacts with us, how we manifest it, who we are, our purpose here, all through the lens of what was coined by Jake Coates in 2006 as synchromysticism. It's a hybrid of synchronicity and mysticism. It's described as the art of realizing meaningful coincidences in the seemingly mundane with mystical or esoteric significance. Our reality is a continuous feedback loop of co-creation. We create our reality, and our reality creates us. Our unifying consciousness creates from source, expressed through archetypes, developed from the zodiac, the symbolic structure of this rainbow realm you and I verse. We live in a tarot play, a movie, or a TV show projected by our collective consciousness, which reflects back to us who we really are and why we are here. As we explore the realm of the material, comprehend our mortality, and endeavor to return home. The videos that I've put together over the course of the past 6 months to a year have revealed that we are sleeping gods. Superheroes fit in that category as well. We are in a movie, we are the creator gods, and we forgot who we really are. We were the Titans, and we fell to the Olympians. The Titans created the Olympians. They created gods above themselves. They gave them their energy and attention, and therefore they fell to the Olympians. The Olympians took over, and this kept happening and happening and happening.
I created them, and they reward my love with defiance? There will be no truce. Finally, some rage from you. How long has it been? How long, brother, since you've seen my face? Hades. Endless years I've watched from the underworld and saw your wrath tempered with love. You created them for one reason, so their prayers would fuel our immortality. But you love them too well. They've grown strong. And now I am forced to rise because we are all threatened. What do you want, brother? Let me loose upon them. They will pray again, and you will bathe in their awe and fear. And we will grow strong again.
He belongs in the underworld, not here.
You do not tell me where I belong. You say it is love that feeds us, but you depend on their love. I've only learned to live on their fear, their pain.
Zeus, our brother speaks the truth. Hear him.
Go. Do what you will.
Father, we need the mortals.
No, Apollo. Hades is right. Their insolence has a price. Like children, they need to be reminded of the order of things. Set an example, brother. Turn them on each other. And back into our arms.
The story of Zeus and the Olympians is told again and again in every religion, right down to our current incarnation of the Bible story of Yahweh speaking with Satan in the Old Testament book of Job. This story exemplifies the ego's battle to hold on to its power as its creation wakes up to its own authority. Zeus created the humans, but we are the ones who created Zeus and the Olympians, so we would have someone to rule over us. And every incarnation after that is a new set of gods in seemingly different bodies, in seemingly different stories, but it's the same being telling the same story over and over. And this is a pattern that has repeated throughout history. You've got the Anunnaki, the Sumerian, the Egyptian, Greek, Roman, and then the Romans turned everything into Christianity under Jesus. Now all of these gods represents aspects of you and aspects of the mind, the brain. So, for example, the Anunnaki, they're the shining ones, and they're representative of you, who came here to mine gold. Gold is the essence of you, to remember who you really are. Gold is your love or your light. These allegories were built around these gods as a way for us to make sense of it, to kind of romanticize it and make them into grander characters than they really are. The reason we would do that is to hide the fact that we are these gods. As time progressed, these gods gradually handed over their power to the external and fell into the physical and believed that they were just mere mortals. So in essence, they fell asleep. They fell under the spell of the lies they told themselves. They reincarnated over and over into different bodies and different stories, but they were always at their core the same god they were when they started here. And their only purpose was to wake up and remember who they really are in order to put an end to this false reality that they created. The other day I watched this movie, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. I highly recommend it. It's loaded with truth, but it's absolutely hilarious. And the characters in that disappear into this video game, Jumanji, and they're in new avatars, new bodies.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who is she?
Who are you guys? Huh?
Okay, what the hell?
Oh my God! I am totally suing you! What's wrong with my voice? Get off of me!
Where am I?
And their objective is to restore this jewel, which is emerald green, of course, which is representative of the heart chakra, and they have to restore this jewel to the Eye of the Jaguar, which is in a mountain, in order to get home, and they cannot leave the game until they do so. And they have 3 lives each, and so when they die in the game, they just pop back in. They're reincarnated, but they pop back in as themselves. And so it's sort of similar to what's going on here. So when we die, we pop back in, but we reincarnate in a different body. You forget who you were. You forget that you were reincarnated, yes, but you retain certain information, which makes it easier for some people to progress to the next level in terms of putting the pieces of the puzzle together, the pieces of the truth puzzle together. Otherwise, you'd have to start over from scratch every single time you incarnate. These A-listers, they play very similar roles over and over again, and the movies that they play from one to the next follow very closely in the same vein. In this sequence taken from Jake Coates' channel, Seallion, he shows how Jennifer Connelly plays the role of Jupiter. In every movie shown here, she smashes the mirror or window to the other side. Jupiter represents 42, which is the angle of the Ark of the Covenant or the Rainbow Bridge, the gateway between the rainbow realm of the physical to the non-physical, which is your 7 chakras. Jupiter is also Zeus, the one who overthrew his father Cronus, Father Time. By smashing the mirror, perhaps Jennifer Connelly is showing her anger for the illusion, because the only way out of here is to break the mirror, shatter the illusion in order to overthrow Father Time. The first creative video I did, Story of Your Life, demonstrated how these stories and faces overlap, not just from movie to movie for that Hollywood A-lister, but from movie to movie for different characters. So there was overlap between Jim Carrey and Atreyu in Neverending Story and The Truman Show. Their faces were identical, their expressions were identical. It was essentially the same person. And then it moved to Bewitched with Why Don't You Do What You Dream, Bastion. Will Ferrell woke up in his bed and he's like, oh my God, thank God it was just a dream. And he's in bed with one of his characters from a TV show, Bewitched, and he says, no such luck, Jackie boy. So all of these stories intermingle and are entangled because it's the same story. It's one story. And if you look at the thread, you've got Jim Carrey with Atreyu and Will Ferrell. What if they're all the same being? And it's just a matter of them showing to us the various incarnations that we have been through to reflect back to us, this is your life. This is what your life is here. You are stuck in a TV show.
Countdown to action. Stand by. He's heading west on Stewart. Stand by all extras. Gloria, he'll be on you in about 90 seconds. Pops, make sure the coffee's hot. Okay, he's making his turn on the Lancaster Square. Oh my God! He knew he hit balance. Something's wrong. Change frequencies.
Ouch. Sorry about that, folks. I guess we picked up a police frequency or something. It sometimes happens, and it can drive you crazy. Okay, it's classical Clive back in here, and we've still got some great music up ahead, but hey, we have to buckle up. Remember safety.
Can I help? Oh, yeah, I have an appointment at Gable Enterprise.
They went bust.
What's happening? Nothing. Just tell me what's happening.
Brought the bosa. We're remodeling.
No, you're not. What are those people doing?
It's none of our business. It's none of your business.
Don't tell me what's happening. I'll report you.
Well, your business.
Truman, what are you doing here?
I gotta talk to you.
It's a bad time, okay? I'm way behind.
I'm onto something, Marlon. Something big.
You okay? You look like shit.
I think I'm mixed up in something.
Mixed up in what?
There's no point trying to explain it, but a lot of strange things have been happening. I mean, the people on the elevator, there was no backing on it. I looked out, there was people there, and on the radio, on the way to work, start to, like, follow me along, talking about everything that I'm doing. You know what I mean?
No, Truman, look, this is one of your fantasies.
I think this is about my dad.
Your dad?
I think he's alive. Yeah. I'll tell you about it later. I'm definitely being followed.
Who?
It's hard to tell. They look just like regular people.
How about those two?
I don't know. Could be. It's when I'm unpredictable. They can't, you know. Anything happen?
No.
Mm-hmm. We gotta get out of here. You ready to go?
No, I just can't.
Come on.
I told you I can't. You're gonna get both their asses fired, you know that.
Okay, then, let's do it.
What?
The TV is reflecting back to us that we are in the TV, not them. And what I mean by them is consciousness expressed through the zodiac wheel. And the TV is reflecting back to us what we expect to see, which is drama or movies or news stories. And that drama is a veil. If you look at the Purple Rose of Cairo, she goes to the movie theater at least 5 times, watches the movie over and over again. And one of the actors in the movie notices her and starts talking to her. And he steps off the film, he steps off the screen into quote unquote reality. But in the end of the movie, Mia Farrow, she ends up going into the film and she goes crossing the veil. What's on the other side of the screen is actually real, but we think that it's fake, and so it's projected to us like it's fake, but they're using it as a veil, as a cover. And the more you notice these synchronicities with the TV, the more you realize that the TV is talking to you. The more the beings on the other side of the TV will show themselves, and the more they will help you, and the more they will guide you, because it's happening in real time. Okay, so if everything is now, and our stories are movies, what if we are the ones in the movie, and when we watch TV, the TV is a link to the other side, but we watch it with the belief that it's simply a series of pre-recorded programs when in fact it's happening in real time and presents the illusion of pre-recorded programs. And the beings in the TV are on the other side of the mirror or the veil, and they're communicating with us, trying to wake us up by masking the messages inside these programs. But the ones who wake up to this are able to see and starting to realize that the TV is communicating with them through coincidences and synchronicities. What if these programs are used to mask these messages, and when those who can see connect, the beings in the TV openly communicate with us, but in actual fact, we're the ones trapped in the TV.
Who is that? Who are you?
Wanda. Who's doing this to you, Wanda? Wanda. What?
You don't know. I'm not going to tell you.
Is that?
It looks like her.
You move at the speed of sound, and I can make a pen float through the air. Who needs to abbreviate?
Look, I know it's been a crazy few years on this planet, but he's dead, right? Not blipped. Dead.
Excellent plan. Where's the tenderizer?
What am I looking at? You. What is this? Where's this coming from?
Out there.
You didn't answer the back door for your upside-down cake. Oh, hi.
Is it authentic?
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Is it happening in real time? Is it recorded, fabricated? Is it happening in real time? Is it recorded, fabricated?
I don't know, and I don't know.
What do you know?
My equipment registered an extremely high level of CMBR. That's...
Relic radiation dating back to the Big Bang.
Yeah. Entwined was a broadcast frequency, so I had your goons pick me up a sweet vintage TV, and when I plugged this bad boy in, voila, sound and picture.
Dinner is served.
So you're saying the universe created a sitcom starring 2 Avengers?
It's a working theory.
The internet and the TV and all of that, like all of this electronic media, obviously it travels on airwaves, it travels in frequencies, and so that's part of the ether. And so when we put information into the internet, we are transmitting that information into the ether, which is connected to the other side. And so we are creating the new world. This is why every piece of data that we have has been transferred over to the internet over the past 20 years. And now we're moving towards building everything on the blockchain, which would be eventually a digital replica of this world. So what if we already did this? What if we're moving backwards and forwards at the same time? What if we're looping over on ourselves and the internet is also the new world and the old world? Everything that is happening right now, especially with coronavirus, is basically steering us to put our attention into the TV or the screen, the black mirror. All of our attention in this world runs on attention. It's energy, which is your energy or your inner God, your inner gold, is being fed into the black mirror. This black mirror essentially would be a portal to the other side.
Then one night, Roy and Helen Nabel got sucked in and discovered that hell is one TV show after another.
Let's welcome our new contestants, Roy and Helen Nabel!
And they're starring in every show.
I've watched enough wrestling to know one thing. It's all fake. No one ever gets...
Not fake. Not fake.
So the object, Mr. Pierce, is to kill them before they reach the end.
Oh my God, we're cartoons.
I am not a mouse. I'm Helen Nabel. I have 2 beautiful children.
Mom? Our parents are trapped in television.
Now, they can't go home. They can only switch channels.
Where'd he go?
Hey, lady, watch out!
And every series is a nightmare.
That's entertainment.
Because Satan is the sponsor.
Okay, everybody, head spins. Very good, very nice.
Well, time to rock and roll.
Stay tuned.
Where have you been?
When you're in a dream, everything's created instantaneously. So if you were watching television, you wouldn't see how it was created. You would just see it on television. Whereas in this reality, we would slow everything down and break it out into time, and therefore the things that we see on TV, we would see them being produced. But really, we're just breaking it down to make sense of it in the past in order for it to be real in the present, because it's happening in real time. And our mind separates everything into past, present, and future in order to make sense of it. But everything has already happened and everything is happening now. When I made these videos, it became obvious to me that every single clip, every image, every word, every piece of music would be there for me as and when I needed it. It was already done. It's almost as if I created all the pieces in the past in order for it to be in the video I was making now. And when I say I mean consciousness. Because no matter how seemingly obscure the visual, it was always there for me. It was like a perfect dance of me being called to what I need and it being called into being. We have created entities above ourselves, and the current entities that are above ourselves are the celebrities, the elite. So we've handed our power over to them. We worship them. We idolize them. We give them our energy and attention. And a lot of those, obviously, are on the TV.
Not so fast. We need to talk, Shadow. Look at me, Shadow. All in high def. We shot the show in 35mm. Cutting edge. Looks like hell in the transfer. Funny how things supposed to make you look good only make it worse. I can't even fill the whole screen.
What the fuck is this?
Just little old me.
Talking to Lucille Ball.
Lucy Ricardo. I'm all sword, Shadow. The screen's the altar. I'm the one they sacrifice to. Then till now. Golden age to golden age. They sit side by side, ignore each other, and give it up to me. Now they hold a smaller screen in their lap or in the palm of their hand so they don't get bored watching the big one. Time and attention. Better than lamb's blood.
When the media is projected on the screen and we feed our energy and attention to it, those representations of the actual physical being, the image on the screen, becomes an entity of itself. It becomes separated from the actor in the physical. The Purple Rose of Cairo, they split the actor from the character because the character in that movie has taken upon a life of its own, which falls in line with why the natives as well don't like to have their picture taken, because they feel it is going to capture their soul.
I mean, you're a sweet girl. You deserve an actual human.
But Tom's perfect.
Yeah, but he's not real. What good is perfect if the man's not real? I can learn to be real. It's easy. You know, there's nothing to it. Being real comes very naturally to me. Can't learn to be real. It's like learning to be a midget. It's not a thing you can learn. Some of us are real, some are not.
Last week I was unloved. Now 2 people love me, and it's the same 2 people.
Go with a real guy, honey. We're limited.
Go with Tom. He's got no flaws.
Go with somebody, child, because I's getting bored.
She's gonna marry me. You're wasting your time. Will you get back on the screen? I'm trying to tell Cecilia I'm in love with her. I love you. I'm honest, dependable, courageous, romantic, and a great kisser. And I'm real.
What are you doing to these people? You can't do this to them. You're messing with their whole universe.
Maybe it needs to be messed with, David.
Comes a story about the loss of innocence.
Oh, I brought you something from the library.
Gee whiz.
And the power of change.
Well, what's outside of Pleasantville? There's some places where the road keeps going.
You shouldn't cover that up.
You always look at things in the dream from your personal perspective. You never see yourself unless you happen to see yourself in a mirror, which is rare, but it does happen. But you never see yourself. You see your projections, your thought projections, and your mind created everything in that dream. And so everything in that dream is all you. However, those characters in your dream, they take on characteristics and a life of their own, and it's a very similar process to when you create a play. You have characters within the play, and within each character is a little piece of you as the creator, but each character takes on a life of its own. And this is why writers will often say the story wrote itself. The story writes itself because you've created an egregore of this symphony, this play. Everybody involved will naturally fall into place because of the creation that you have emitted. It's like a well-orchestrated symphony. You're just a note that plays within the symphony. Everybody on the crew falls into the energy of the piece that was created. They all fall in line with the vision that you have for that production. And yes, they add the little pieces of themselves, but essentially they're all you anyway. The actors themselves have been portraying representations of the old world gods because that is who they really are. They are not real, just like we are not real. We are merely reflections of our true selves projected from the mind of God or the demiurge or our collective consciousness who forgot who we really are because we fell asleep and thought this dream world was real. As we feed our consciousness into the black mirror, we once again create a world in which we are subservient to the gods we created, enslaving ourselves to the blockchain unless we wake up and end the dream cycle. It seems increasingly obvious to me how we are getting closer and closer together in the mind. Some of us are tapping into the same consciousness of remembering, even down to the same words, thoughts, and ideas. As I was making this video, I noticed that Victoria Cotton recently briefly mentioned archetypes.
This is important because this is about archetypes. Signs and symbols rule the world, not words nor laws. Look, you are told when you can merge the mirror. Everything is about archetypes. Every single thing is attached to an energy, planet, sign. So the wheel speaks through your TV, media, news, sport, entertainment. Every single job, JB with the O passage in between, is a representative of the different tribe of job, different levels of knowledge and of every season. The jab is the jib job jab. Gap closed into the Eiffel Tower, a jab. The needle. The need, you need L, the last egg. So, the Eiffel Tower is the Joker, the Tartuffe. You're meant to light your own lamp, be the lamb, not stand under the lamp of someone else.
Every profession has its celebrity character. We are all in a geeky Greek tragedy, and every one of us is a mythological character. Every animal, plant, tree. The sea, the wind, the earth, and the fire are the four pillars, the four corners you have to jump through the loop to make the connection of what role you play in the collective orchestra. Those who don't see the musical comedy yet is because you have timed yourself to be triggered awake at a precise pendulum swing, aspects and angles and arcs of the wheel. Every crossroad is a new you, and you keep joining the dots by being perceptive and observing the sky above you and the earth you walk upon. The reflection of others is telling us who you are. Your friends, your passions, your hates and loves, your tastes, your choices and reactions tell you who you are. You are your sun, moon, father, mother. They show you who you are. The clues, the codes, the numbers, the dates, the people, the messages, the signs is a constant up and down, back and forth sultan of swing. You are swingers until you find the critical point, comprehension of what the F you are doing here in the now. If you get swallowed by the crocodile, Nile, Amit, You lose connection to your higher self and you simply can't see the writings on the wall. We are born at a given moment in a given place, and like vintage years of wine, we have the qualities of the year and the season of which we are born. Astrology does not lay claim to anything anymore. The tarot rota is the free wheel, the free will, the will I am Shakespeare.
What was trying to be communicated through the tarot cards was kind of a map of the human soul. The cards themselves are a pictorial representation of the paths of the Kabbalistic tree of life. We can see how things like the tarot and things like even modern cinema are intimately connected and ultimately arise from consciousness.
Our true language of symbolism, of astrology, astrologos, the star language, angelish, English, English. All words, numbers, music stem from the zodiac.
And so we'll see here that the major 22 tarot cards of the tarot deck each have a path on this tree of life. But essentially what we're looking at is kind of a map of the collective unconscious. I'm going to move through some of the major arcana of the tarot deck, which are the major 22 cards in the tarot that represent the major 22 archetypes of the human soul. So the first card is number 0, and it's called the Fool. This card represents the element of air and embodies both the energies of spring and nature and what we could call the spring of our soul, the idea of rebirth and you know, staying young at heart, and all these kind of ideas are represented by this archetypal state. And we all come into the world as a fool, as a babe, with unconditioned awareness. Jim Carrey, who is really our culture's wild man, our culture's fool and green man as an actor. If you look here, we can see he starred in a film called Yes Man in 2009, and his body language is almost a mirror image of the Fool Tarot trump from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. We see the Fool standing on top of these gators in Aleister Crowley's tarot card, and then we see Jim Carrey, our Yes Man Fool, standing on top of 2 gators in the Ace Ventura films. We start to recognize the Fool is also the green man of spring, so we see Osiris, the green father god of Egypt. He was associated with the corn and the resurrection of the fields every year. And another holy fool is Robin Williams. When we look at things like the Princess of Discs here on the bottom left, it's a spitting image of Maleficent. And this is what I think consciousness produces when it tries to describe the feminine qualities of the earth and give it a human form and give nature and magic a shape as a person. So these archetypes come up in the films and the tarot cards. In the alchemical tradition, the feminine is represented by salt. So it's perfect that our earth goddess here from Maleficent and the tarot is characterized by Angelina Jolie, who is also salt, or the earth itself, or the goddess herself.
The duality system is a play, enacting one story from multiple angles. Each story tells your story from another point of view. When I made these videos, it became obvious how entangled each life is and how stories and faces overlap. The game, program, system is set up to battle out the opposites, and the goal is simply just to get home.
And I would just find it really hard to believe that a lot of conscious effort goes into syncing all of these themes so intimately. And it appears to me that it's almost as if these are like, you know, expressions of the universal mind. It looks a lot to me like these patterns are part of a dialogue that we're having with our own psyche as we kind of move into greater understanding of ourselves and we confront the mysteries of our mortality.
It's metaphysical, in the mind. It's a dream within a dream, a co-created mind manifestation, the mind labyrinth. We are trapped in an endless stairwell of emotional ups and downs, separated from our true selves, suffering in a prison of our own making, stuck on a plane of this realm, tormented by our own thoughts, calling out for love, for freedom, for the relief from suffering, while our higher self is reaching for us, trying to find us, because true love will never leave you.
So when we take the word film actually means a thin skin or membrane. It's also what we record are these movies onto, which are essentially visions. You know, we record these visions onto this film or membrane. When we close our eyes, we create a blank movie screen. We're sitting in the theater of our own skull, you know, in the temple of our own skull, the temple theater, you know. And we close our eyes and we begin to use our third eye, you know, the interior eye, the eye that sees in a spiritual sense, in an intuitive sense. And it's that eye that perceives these imaginary dramas in the interior realm of our psyche. We notice that the film screen is a thin skin or membrane between our interior world and the exterior world. The film screen is where we project our interior reality into the form of a mythic drama. It's fascinating the way that these visions of all these different people have a lot of consistency over time, and it starts to give a lot of credence to this realm of prophecy.
The television is a reflection of our consciousness. It's you talking to you. It's our inner self trying to wake us up. This tarot play or movie has an overarching storyline. There is only one story, and that story is 911, the return to Christ consciousness. The external world simultaneously reflects back to us the ego battle within, the fake duality layer we imposed on ourselves as we fell into the material, and reveals to us through synchronicity the truth to help us awaken. Everything, not just media, is a projection of our subconscious. We are all from the stars, playing a part in the tarot play on the world stage. The drama played out on the world stage is a reflection of the inner mind of the collective unconscious, or the collective consciousness. The one played out on the personal level is a reflection of your inner mind. While the ego, demiurge, projects fear, love shines through to dissolve the ego. When we remember who we are, we leave the illusion behind, return to heart or Christ consciousness, and collapse the rainbow realm, putting an end to the never-ending story of duality. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.